So hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. So today I have my batchmate Zaid from IIT KGP with us, who had bagged two interns at the same day at ITC and Amazon. So hello Zaid, how are you?
Thank you, Mitadu, for this wonderful introduction. And I'm fine, just enjoying my stay in Chennai.
Okay,
Just
okay. So first of all, congratulations. And for can you explain
thank you.
like for coding rounds, in which platforms did you practice? Can you just
Okay, so
tell?
yeah, so coming on to my coding platforms, you can for if you want to focus on competitive programming, you can try these two platforms, CodeForces and CodeChef. CodeChef has like easier problems, and like many of its problem are copied from CodeForces. Earlier, it used to be. I'm not sure that they are still doing it now or not. And lead code is a very must for if you are preparing for on-campus placement, because what some companies does is in the interview they directly give you a lead code uh, problem link, and you have to code it on the lead code directly there. So
Okay.
if you are doing a lead code a lot, there are chances that you will might have done that question already. So this is a very important website. And you can also do some practice on HackerRank, because many companies in their online assessment they conduct on HackerRank, and very few on HackerEarth also. So if you will practice a little bit on HackerRank, you will get a good idea about the interface, so that you are well prepared for the real coding rounds. And if you are from IT KGP, there is one Grimoire of Code conducts a coding past year coding competitions, which contain questions on like past year uh, questions that were asked on the on campus. So
Yes.
they are conducted on HackerRank. So you can attempt that. That will give you a good idea about what could have been asked to you. And this A2OJ ladder is just compilation of problems on code forces. So what thing is, code forces also focuses a lot on mathematical problems and uh, constructional problem. Like you have to construct the solving. They don't entirely focus on data structure and algorithm, but many, like most of the companies, what they does is they focus on your data structure and algorithm solving abilities. So if the time left with you is very less, or you want to give coding only a limited amount of time, then you can consider skipping maths problem and constructive problem, because they take a lot of time and there are very less chances that they would be asked. Only few companies, I think Google asked and etc. on mathematical problem. Otherwise, these DP graph etc. are the most important topics. And yeah, that's
Yes,
about.
yes. Yes. So, can you say, like, in the summer break, how many problems on an average do you think you practiced, and or do you think is sufficient for someone who wants to sit for software profiles of top companies?
So like quantizing it in such a way is very difficult, because like if you are solving easier problems or just learn the topic and then solving, you could do many problems in a day. But if you are doing hard
Yes,
problems,
yes.
then it take times, and you like don't have to really push yourself. Like you attempted one question and just after trying for 5 minutes, you started seeing its solution. So you won't learn anything, and you won't improve your problem solving skill. So giving
Yes.
each question, like if it is tough, you have to give it a good amount of time to challenge your brain to think of how it can be solved, and then see the hints for solving that problem, and then try to code it yourself. So like solving
Okay.
questions properly is more important than just running behind the numbers, that I feel.
Yeah, yeah. That's really insightful. So, can you go on further by telling that how did you exactly prepare for the interview? Like, what are the topics and stuffs you studied? Can you explain?
Yeah, so coming on to software profile, the companies in on campus at least they are mostly focused on your data structure and programming skills. It is good to have good projects in your CV. They will give you a add-on, but if you are not very well versed with programming, then it's very hard to clear those online interview rounds. So it's good to give a good little bit focus on CV. You can add projects based on machine learning, system design, or web development also. Like web development would not be like on the less priority side. Machine learning, design, these are more creative projects and might be useful. And you can even think of doing some internship if you are free, or if you have already done, you can add that in your resume. For software, I will still say your competitive programming and data DSA skills matters a more lot than your resume. It is good to have a good resume, and I already told how you can practice these problems. And for there are like many online good courses which you can follow to learn DSA if you are not aware of. And coming on to data preparation, so in data resume matters a lot. So
Yes, yes.
for building a resume, first you should have a basic knowledge of ML if you are not aware of that. So mathematics, these are the topics in the slide which you should have a fair idea to understand the machine learning algorithms better. So I have already listed these down. Like this 50 challenging problem in probability is a very good book. Like there are only 50 problems, but that will give you a very good idea about that. And this is a very good course on YouTube, Stats 110 by Harvard. It is a little difficult course, but you can try giving it at least one trial. And knowing the basics of Python, I am sure like many of you would already be knowing this. So yeah, this should also be known. And for starting with machine learning, if you are learning it, you can pick any one of the courses. Like big end-to-end ML course on Coursera is a very beginner-friendly course and easier course, I would say. It will generate some interest in you for machine learning. And there's one channel called StatQuest on YouTube. That channel is very good for understanding the mathematics behind the algorithms deeply, and it explain them in a very well manner, in a very picturesque manner. So that would be a very good thing to follow. And for if you have left time after completing machine learning, you can try studying deep learning. There are like many applications of ML, like deep learning would be natural language processing, computer vision, reinforcement learning. So you can either pick one or whichever you want and try learning those theoretical stuff behind them, and then try creating projects on them. And if in the CV if you are adding projects based on machine learning, that would be okay. I'm not saying that, but if you're adding deep learning projects based on NLP, computer vision, so they will have a better impact. And obviously,
Yes.
they are more harder and would take more time to complete than machine learning projects. So, if you are left with enough time, then I would suggest you to complete at least any one of the deep learning specialization and make projects on that. And otherwise, you can go with the machine learning projects. And one more important things in data profile is to do internship. So getting a corporate internship in the initial years is quite difficult in machine learning field. In software, I think you can still get uh, internship in the earlier years, but in ML it is tough. So you can try for research internship under professors. They will give you study material for studying these topics, whichever research topic you have been allotted. And also you will get enough stuff to fill your CV. So that is a very must thing to do in data preparation, and you can also should focus on participating in competition on Kaggle along with your friends and friend circle who at least know something about the data or even better than you. This is the best way to learn, I think, ML and data faster than if you are just focusing on YouTube and just copying projects from there. The learning would be slower than compared to if you are participating in competition. So yeah, so try to participate in as many as competition as possible, and try to do as many like one or two at least internship in machine learning field, either research internship or corporate internship if you can get. So yeah, these were my
Yes.
SDN data preparation. Right.
Yeah, so that was really nice. And can you go ahead by telling us like what were the exact questions that were asked to you in the interview at both ITC and Amazon?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. And one thing I would like to add that you can also try for research paper in also that is very tough in the initial years, but like this is
Yes.
a very good thing to have in a machine learning CV. So yeah, coming on to the question, the my interview experience. So on the day one, I had three interview shortlists, ITC, Amazon, and Nomura, and also had shortlist of Sprinkler and Salesforce, but I didn't give them because uh, they were scheduled later. So,
Yes, yes.
coming on to ITC interview, uh, so it has first had a CV shortlisting round, then a form was circulated to people, and that form was a very big form. It included your experience, past experience, and even about your core, whichever stuff you like in your core curriculum and whatever topics you have studied. So that form need to be like filled in a serious manner, not to be taken lightly because they do shortlist people from that, and that form would be used even in the further interview round also. So if you mention something
Okay.
in that form which is you are not completely aware of, then you will be in a very tricky position in the interview. So after that form, there is a case study based GD round for shortlisted people. They keep approx 7 8 people, I think, in a one room, and give a case study based problem where mostly like the people were getting similar questions uh, in the case study that groups they were forming. And after
Okay.
that case study round, there are two rounds of interview. Like both these two rounds consist of technical and HR question. The first round, in my first round, they did ask me about some little bit of chemical core question because I belong from chemical department, and
Okay.
some question on my resume, and told me to explain me about one or few projects, and they cross question something about my those projects, and then uh, some basic HR stuff like what you can do in ITC, like what innovative things you can bring to the table, and stuff like that. And in the second round also, it was similar mix of tech and HR. They asked me about my CV and on about the guides form that I have filled, which I told you in the this form has to be filled. They
Yes,
asked a
yes.
few questions about it, and then some mixed HR question like what things you basically you will have to explain them that why you are useful to ITC and like what you can bring to their table. So this was the most important thing, that you have to make them convinced that yes, you can contribute to the company. So
Okay.
yeah, like there I have not written the exact questions because they are very generic, like they depends on whatever thing you have filled in your resume and what you
Yes.
have filled in that form, so based on that you will be asked.
Yes, yes. Understood.
Hmm. Okay, and now coming to Amazon interview, like I would say compared to other companies' interview, it was comparatively easier interview. They had one online test which contained, I think, three questions. They were like medium question, I would say. Few were easy. So,
Okay.
there, in the on-campus I am talking about, so like many people could have solved all the three questions, but they shortlisted a bunch of people out of them for the interview round. So I'm not sure like what criteria they have followed. Maybe some resume-based shortlisting. So
Okay.
keeping a decent resume might help. And in the interviewer asked me two easy to medium question. Like I have also mentioned the links. They were similar to them, and you can practice the problem of Amazon on mentioned in the lead code. Amazon, what it does is it many time repeats its question which it has already asked. So it is better if
Okay.
you have gone through all its problem set. So these were the two question trapping rainwater problem. If you already are aware of competitive programming or DSA, you might have come across these question trapping rainwater, making array zero by subtracting equal amounts. So like
Yes.
if I would give a overview of this problem, a trapping rainwater problem, it might be a tricky question for someone who has not seen this at all, or he is new to coding, but like this is a very standard problem and many people have done. So, so it is important to have a good practice for clearing the interview. Yes, the question asked are not very challenging or require you to construct some very innovative algorithm. And like I could have solved these two questions very quickly in the interview round, but still I took my time in explaining each and entire stuff during the interview so that he is fully convinced and not it doesn't seem in the interview that I have mugged things up and already knew
Yes.
the
Yes.
problem.
That
So
is
this
important.
is one of the tip, like even if you know the question before you have solved it, you should be explaining it to the interviewer in a detailed manner and should not rush to the final solution. And my interview for Amazon ended up very like the coding part got completed in I think 30 minutes, 30 40 minutes. And after that, the interviewer like started asking me something about my resume and experience in machine learning, etc., which I told him. So it is
Yes. Yes.
like many people uh, just who were giving the interview of Amazon, they spend their whole time solving these two questions. So if you can solve these two questions in a decent amount of time, then you can earn some brownie points by discussing your resume. So
Yes.
having a good control on DSA is a very good. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That was really interesting to hear.
So
Do you
this
have
is.
any extra suggestions for all the juniors out there?
Yes. So, having a DSA knowledge is a very must. Even if you are preparing for, I would say, any other field like finance consult, having a basic DSA knowledge is a very important thing to have. And also, like
Yes.
most of the companies which came in on campus, they require DSA knowledge. So you should at least know the basic. And like I said, and during coding questions, uh, you should try not to sit idle for a long time. Like if you are stuck in somewhere, you should discuss your approach with the interviewer. He might give you some hint, or he
Yes.
should at least see your how you are thinking. And like if it happens, sometimes it happens that the problem is very difficult or hard, but if you are giving some logical backing about how you are thinking, then the interviewer might even give you some benefit of doubt, like and might this will work, like discussing the
Okay.
approach would be sufficient at if the questions are very tough. And so do not keep quiet is a very important thing. And in machine learning interviews, there there's one thing happen is like some of the theoretical stuff that is asked. is you might not remember it. So like don't start saying something rubbish or which is entirely incorrect, because the interviewer might be an expert of that field and that would leave a very bad impression on him. So if you don't know anything at all, you can just tell him that I don't remember it and can we move to some other question. That would be better compared to saying something rubbish. And yeah, so this thing you
Yes.
should take care of.
Yes, yes, definitely. So I think you have given enough insights to anyone who is preparing for software profiles of top companies. And I hope these suggestions will be really helpful. And I congratulate you once again. And thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me, and all the best to everyone who is watching this.